Yes, good evening. Yes, I do think it's a good move to ease back on the curfew and open some essential businesses, especially the supermarkets, the mini marts, the banks, and other essential businesses. Um, because you don't want to create a greater crisis of food shortages and other shortages of essential supplies and so on. So I think that's important. However, I think now is the time where we St. Lucians need to show our discipline and our understanding of how this virus is spread. We know that it is spread essentially from droplets, large and small, from our noses and our mouths, and of course our hands that get contaminated from surfaces on which droplets have fallen. So it's quite clear as we ease back on the curfew and people move to access essential services, it's important to follow the rules that we already know. Older people and people who have chronic diseases, diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, please stay at home. The rest of us should stay at home as much as possible and only go out for essential items on essential missions. That is to get food, medication, take people to hospital, go to get money from the banks, etc. But when we do that, we should be doing that with understanding the 6-foot rule, which is stay as far from people as possible, at least 6 feet. Also, I believe that we should have masks or the cloth, your bandana over your nose and mouth. I think everybody in public should have their nose and mouth covered because that stops the droplets from being spread. It also even protects the person who's wearing it because the droplets, rather than going straight onto your face, will hit the mask or the cloth that you have over your nose and mouth. So I think these are the sorts of rules that we need to be followed. Of course, the other one is hand washing. So make sure that we sanitize our hands when we touch surfaces. Make sure that we use soap and water when we wash our hands. And when we go back into our house, make sure that we clean ourselves, leave our shoes at the door, wash our hands when we go inside, even as we take off our mask or our cloth. And when we do that, if it's a reusable mask, you wash it. So if it's a cloth, obviously you wash it in soap and water. So I think St. Lucians, we know the basic rules. We know what we need to do. Let us be disciplined. There's no need to flood into the supermarkets and the mini-marts tomorrow. What you can do, you know that they're going to be open from now, so you can take your time. Not everybody in the household has to go. Only one person really from every household has to go and get the essential supplies. So let's ease back into a more normal life, but let's do so with the discipline that I know that we have. In addition, over time, depending on how our cases go, how our testing goes, when we see the extent of this pandemic in St. Lucia, how well is it controlled, how well are we controlling it, how disciplined we are, then maybe there can be more easing back as time goes by. Clearly, we have to do that guided by the evidence and the science, which is why everybody's working hard to increase our testing capacity. Testing capacity both for the RT-PCR, nucleic acid, as well as for the rapid test for the IgM and IgG, which is the antibody testing. So these are all strategies that I think we will be putting in place, or we are working to put in place right now. It's time for us as St. Lucians to unite and defeat this virus and prevent our people from getting sick, prevent ourselves from getting sick as much as we can. So, basic rules again. Remember, stay at home. If you're elderly, if you have any chronic disease, please stay home. Don't venture out. Those who are venturing out, make sure you venture out with a mask or a cloth over your nose and mouth. Make sure we wash our hands. Make sure we maintain distancing. Don't get involved in any social activities with more than 5 people. Don't do that. Stay away from those kinds of gatherings. And if you are there, make sure you have your nose and mouth well covered. Take care. Bye-bye.